Breaking. I'm going to be a race car driver, mama. My dreams finally come true. Not really, but with the new race for the truck that Dodge Ram's rolling out, it feels like anybody has an opportunity now to find themselves in the driver's seat. We're going to talk about this new game show or reality TV show brought to you by Dana White, which I love the connection that NASCAR and Dana are going to bring. We're going to talk about that. And smoke. Tony Stewart returns to the track for the Daytona 500. It's going to be a good weekend as we get into the Daytona 500. I'm really excited to see how NASCAR is attacking it. I feel like they're hitting the ground running with these changes in the playoffs, with the tap into nostalgia. A lot of good stuff. Let's roll the intro. Let's talk about it. So the big one that I'm actually really excited about is Race for the Seat, brought to you by Dodge Ram. And as we all heard last year, Dodge is coming back into the racing world from the truck perspective, which I love. Adding a night of the Dodge truck is a fantastic, beautiful-looking truck. Excited to see how that's going to look on the racetrack and watching those bad boys go round and round. So they are building a team with the Ram racing team. And to fill one of the spots, they have 5 racers. They still have a free agent available. To fill one of the spots, they said, well, let's do a reality TV show brought to you by Dana White. And Dana White is the king of reality TV shows and bringing athletes from the underground to the real world and making them a superstar, if you will. So this new show comes out January 25th at 12 p.m. I think it's on Fox and on YouTube, where they have 15 aspiring drivers battling for a coveted spot on the racing team behind the wheel of Ram 1500 in the 2026 NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series. NASCAR, well done by Ram. Of how do you make a splash? It's a splash just by coming back into the sport, right? You could have just ended at that, and we would have been naturally excited anyways. But you're bringing in a whole new perspective in it, where we're going to ramp up. We're going to have basically. I wonder how they're going to roll in that last season to the Daytona 500, because I do believe we get every episode leading up to that. Will the free agent race in the Daytona 500, or at least at Daytona? I don't know. I don't know how these episodes are going to unfold, but that would be really cool, where we are watching this thing unravel. Again, somebody's already won. This has already been recorded, so they already have their driver, but can they sink it in to where the last episode is the day before the race, so it's down to 2 guys, and maybe they reveal it? I don't know. I'm thinking crazy here, but I love this aspect of it. We've seen a lot of reality TV shows like this. Ultimate Fighter, obviously being one. That's why Dana White comes into it, because he understands how it should look, how it should feel, how it should function. I've watched the highlight. I watched the clip. Very exciting. It looks like they're going to be racing a multitude of cars. It's not going to just be trucks. They're going to try to challenge them in every asset of racing, and it's going to be a small little field. So it's fun for everybody. And I think the key thing, the big thing that people are missing or not understanding as well, is the clips that will be generated from this. Again, where NASCAR has to learn to tap into is, look, they got to appeal to their current audience, but how can we grow it? How can we make this to where it's fun and it's cool? Some people may not like it, but you still have to continue to adapt to what is this new age. And I think that you're going to be able to do that with this new racing style and this TV show. So very excited. And not to mention, again, NASCAR, in my opinion, has a very special piece with nostalgia. That is kind of what NASCAR's bread and butter is. And the farther they try to remove themselves from that, the more struggles they're going to have. And it feels like with right now, the tone and the approach for this year is nostalgia. Going back to the chase, which you may like it or not, but it's going back to what it used to be. There's a resemblance. There's an old feel that we somewhat appreciate. We somewhat like. Everyone's still kind of 50-50 on it. And now you're bringing in Tony Stewart to help roll out an entire new product into the truck series. It's also going to bring eyeballs to the truck series. Now, there's no problems here. I am a fan of the truck series. One of my favorite ones to watch. Always been a big fan of it. Love watching those trucks fly around the track. I think it's a blast. But from a TV rating perspective, is it the most popular one? Probably not. So how do we drive eyeballs? How do we make sure that we hit this new campaign of Dodge Ram ground running? Bring in one of the GOATs, Tony Stewart, to come back to the track, which we love it. We've seen Jimmy Johnson come back. He drives. That's kind of getting old. It's losing a little bit. Last year we had Junior roll out his charter with the Buffalo Trace car, which was a blast to watch. That was a story in itself. Him and the Gatorade duels, finishing with like 10th it was, just to get into that last spot to get into Daytona 500. So when you can have some of that aura and that old nostalgia brought back to NASCAR, it's always a good thing. It's always a good thing for it. So really excited to see Tony Stewart back in the saddle, see what he does. I believe I'm pretty sure he's driving one of the Dodge trucks. Maybe he'll be driving either the free agent truck or he'll be driving the free seat that they have that they're not going to give to the guy that wins it. So again, I don't have all the details on that, but it will be something to watch and to keep an eye on as well. And speaking of, again, the chase, we dropped our first episode on that yesterday. A lot of love and support on that. I do appreciate it. We're on the way to 1,000 subs. If you guys can continue to subscribe, we're almost at 100 subs in overnight, which is absolutely incredible. I know a lot of you guys are coming over from the High Top Sports world, which I do appreciate. But been watching a lot of these drivers react to the new changes, and everyone kind of has the same approach to it. It's like, look, we don't control what's happening and how it's going to go, but we're gonna show up to the course. And I do feel, I was taking a look at the schedule as well, and of course they dropped the Chicago street race. They're going back to Chicagoland Speedway, and they're no longer doing the race. I think they'll go back to it in a couple of years, but they're not doing that road course. They're doing a road course on the Naval Base this year, which I think will be a really cool race, and I think that might become a staple point because of where it's located. We'll see. Really excited to see how that shakes up. But this playoff run, if you take a look at it, is favorable to Mr. Kyle Larson heavily. So if you're a Larson fan, be excited because things seem to be trending in the direction that his consistency that he has over the last 5 years in that back half of the racing is going to bode well for him. The likes of Denny Hamlin and Ryan Blaney are other ones. And William Byron and Christopher Bell are guys that are up-and-coming contenders that I think that are going to favor well from this chase. And again, Mr. Buescher is going to be my dark knight headed into this year. If he can find some wins in there that he could not find last year, his consistency paired with a few wins could be his dark knight. I want to hear from you, though, with these new rules, with how the playoffs look. Who is your dark knight? Who's your favorite guy? Who's your favorite? And then who is your dark knight? Let me know down in the comments section below for this up-and-coming 2020-26 season. Bubba Wallace had a lot of consistency last year as well, too. Could he turn over a new leaf? Tyler Reddick is another one. 23-11. That charter is fun to watch. Smash the like button, subscribe. Keep growing this bad boy. Boogity, 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 baby. Peace and love.